Settle down, have a seat, have a seat. Now, today we're going to be learning a new topic. And I'm not going to tell you about this topic. Now, pass around these cards. Now, I want you to observe what is listed, what is written on the flashcards. Now, anybody could tell me what are they seeing on their end on the flashcards? John, you have Miranda written on your flashcard. And what is written about Miranda? Oh, you see a line from the play? And what does that line state? It states, "Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer, a brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her." Now, this line is said by Miranda. And what do you think this says about Miranda when she said this? Okay, great. It says that she's sympathetic. Okay, great. And it describes her. Anybody else could tell me what they see on the flashcard? Luke, you have a card with Prospero. And what is said about Prospero? Yes, it says my library, and I quote, a quote from Prospero, it says, "My library is a dukedom large enough." And what does that tell you about Prospero? That is a great answer. It makes you think that he likes to read. Now, Ms. Tatiana, on to you.
All right, students. So based on that little example there, what you saw on the cards and what you said about the characters, can someone sum up everything and tell me what today's topic would be? Does anyone know? All right, thank you. It's characterization, yes. And do you want to share with us the definition based on the little example just now? Right, thank you, Lisa. That's nice, that's nice. So let me give you one and then we'll move on. Now, characterization is a description of the character's physical traits, personality, point of view, and thoughts from a play. All right, so take that definition along with the one that your fellow student gave in your book for future reference. Moving on. So now that we've understand what is characterization, I'd like to introduce you to the two types of characterization. But before I do this, I will choose someone from the class and give you an example. After which you will be guessing for me, what are these two types of characterization? So Jane, would you please come up? All right, so here we go, the first one. Now look at Jane, right? This will be the first type of characterization I'm describing to you. Look at Jane. If I tell you that Jane is beautiful, she's a beautiful young girl. She has golden hair and blue eyes, which makes her stand out. Remember our definition of characterization and this little example. Does anyone have any ideas on the type of characterization? Anyone? All right, let me tell you. So this is called direct characterization. And why is this? It's because the writer or the author directly tells you, the reader or the audience, the traits, characteristics, attributes, or personality of that character, right? Does everyone understand? Okay, great. Now let's move on. Here's the second one, and you should be able to guess this one. I'll use Jane again. So if Mark is in class and he sees Jane enter, he starts to tell Kobe that when Jane walks in the room, nobody could help to look at her stunning, gorgeous face. She commanded attention wherever she went due to her good looks, right? All right, settle down, settle down. Yes, so what does this say to you? Remember, in the first case, I told you everything about Jane. But in this second one, what's happening? That's right, Mark discovered for himself through Jane's looks, through her actions, what is about her. So in other words, this is called indirect characterization. Does everyone understand, or you need me to go over? All right, so in a summary now, could someone please tell me the difference between these two types of characterization? All right. Nice, nice. Thank you all for your responses. You all seem to grasp the concept. Now I will hand you over to Ms. Campbell.
All right, class. I like the interactive class we having today. Just like Ms. Tatiana have said about direct and indirect characterization. Now we're gonna look for the indirect characterization that is found inside the templates. So with Miranda as an example, let us see how we can identify the indirect or direct characterization using Miranda. So inside the templates where it said that the character is characterized as a caring, beautiful, and naive. It is portrayed in the following line. Most sure the goodness on whom the sea hath turned. But say, my prayers may known if you remain in upon this land. Right? In this line in Act 1, Scene 2 proves that Miranda is as beautiful as Ferdinand. Right? So here we use an example as an indirect characterization, right? So while you was reading this template, can you identify or can you tell me if there were any direct characterization inside this template, inside the story, the template? All right. Thank you, Michelle, for your honesty. All right. You didn't notice any, right? Because why? In the templates, they don't have any example of a direct characterization. So we know that a direct characterization is where they tell you exactly about this character instead of you reading between the lines to figure out what is it they're trying to tell you. So they would simply say, Miranda is a beautiful girl, right? Instead of giving you all of this long drawn out scenario thing for you to read between the lines. So now that is how we figure out what is direct characterization. And we know that indirect characterization is where you read between the lines to find the exact we read between the lines to find the indirect characterization. So now we're gonna go on. Do you all understand before I go on? Sorry. So you like me to go over any other thing? All right, I see you smart in this class.
Okay, students, so we have an activity for you. You will place yourselves into groups of 4, and I want you to identify the characters by choosing the traits, qualities, attributes, or even lines from the play that align with them. So you each have a character. If you look on your desk, turn over the cardboard, you each have the name of a character, and I want you to identify what about them, their traits, their personality, and so on, and then you will all share with the class. So thank you, students. You all did great. Everything was correct, and I can see that you understand properly the concept of characterization and also the types of characterization.
All right, students. I see you have done great on your activity. Wonderful job to you all. So a quick recap on what we did today in today's class. So we learned about characterization. So can anybody tell me what is characterization? Thank you, Paul. So we know that characterization is a physical trait, personality, or the point of view through an action or in a play, right? So we also learn about the different type of characterization. So Miss has given us some chart where she placed some names of the characters inside from the templates, right? So with that chart, we know the characters inside the templates, right? And the types of characterization are, can anyone tell me? Yes, Matthew, indirect and direct characterization. Matthew, can you tell me what is direct characterization? I like that answer. Direct characterization is when they're giving you exactly what is it about this person, right? For example, you want to give me an example? Yes, Miranda is a beautiful girl. So that is a direct characterization. And what is indirect characterization? Paul, you want to give it a try? All right, let me hear you. Go direct Characterization is where you have to read between the lines to know about the characters. So they give you a long scenario about this character, and you have to identify what is it they're talking about this character, if she's beautiful, if she's caring, she's loving, or thing. So thank you all for paying attention into this class. I have seen that you have learned something because you can answer to me, right? You can give me answer to the questions. Thank you for coming out to class today, and this has brought us to the end of today's session. Once again, thank you, and thank you for behaving yourself. I like the attitude and everything. So thank you for today's session.
Yes, thank you.
We'll see you again on the next class. Bye.